The ceremony will begin in 1 minute. Thank you. Welcome and thanks for joining us in celebrating Bay Area civil servants at the 2021 Federal Employees of the Year Award ceremony. You are encouraged to use the chat feature if watching during the live stream event. For the ceremony program, please visit sanfrancisco.feb.gov and download it from our website. Immediately following the conclusion of the live stream event, an updated version including the winners will be uploaded and available. This year's theme is We Are Resilient. Our work as federal employees has shifted from turbulence during a global pandemic to planning for the future of work and seeing the brightness ahead. The COVID-19 pandemic is definitely not over, but we have come a long way, and we have done it with forgiveness, compassion, acceptance, gratitude, and meaning. Thank you for all the services you provide every day to the American people. Again, we are resilient.
Hi, I'm Julie Klaus, Chair of the San Francisco Federal Executive Board and Director of the Small Business Administration's San Francisco office. On behalf of the entire federal community, it is my honor and pleasure to welcome you to our Federal Employees of the Year Award ceremony. Thank you for joining our virtual ceremony today. While our presentation has been recorded, we are live streaming the event, so please participate by adding your congratulatory comments in the chat section. We have so many fantastic public servants in the Bay Area. This year, we received 109 nominations, highlighting the work of 784 federal employees. Today is our opportunity to recognize and celebrate the accomplishments of our nominees, as well as their dedication and hard work on behalf of the American people. Every day, federal employees make a difference in the lives of others. During a very challenging year, the federal community has supported the Bay Area in so many ways, including access to health care, financial assistance for individuals and small business owners, funds for communities to help fight the pandemic, and support for veterans and their families. We come together today to recognize the challenges we've had to overcome since the pandemic began and to champion the resiliency needed to serve the American people. I want to thank all of the agencies and nominating officials who took the time to recognize their employees. To the nominees and finalists, congratulations! You exemplified the best in government, and today we get to acknowledge and celebrate your hard work and accomplishments.
Hello, I'm Tatum King, the first Vice Chair of the San Francisco Federal Executive Board Governing Council. Thank you for joining the SFFEB Federal Employees of the Year Award Ceremony. I am Special Agent in charge for Homeland Security Investigations in San Francisco and Northern California. As the Vice Chair, I act as the Chair in Julie's absence and will move into the Chair position the next year. The Chair position is the leader of the Federal Executive Board Governing Council and is a principal advisor to the Federal Executive Board staff. The Secretary position reviews meeting minutes and tracks all motions throughout their term. The Treasurer position assists with fiscal reporting, and the immediate past Chair position is automatically filled upon election of the new Chair. All officers are elected and serve a one-year term. Won't you come and join us on the board? Some of the benefits of engaging the SFFEB are coordinating local approaches to national programs and shared management needs, providing a forum for the exchange of information to and from DC, and raising awareness at the national level of local issues with the potential for far-reaching impacts. A brief overview of our planned program today includes descriptions of the award categories, overview of the nomination process, listing of all the nominees, explanation of selection of finalists and winners, a presentation of each finalist, the announcement of winners, a few special awards, and closing the thank you and video credits. Again, thank you very much for joining us today.
Hello, I'm Brock Young, the Region 9 Security Officer for the Environmental Protection Agency. Federal Employees of the Year is divided into 8 categories. The categories are Acquisition Professionals, employees promoting innovative acquisition solutions, creating contracting processes, or awarding contract actions. Administrative and Trade Professionals, including employees in clerical, administrative, repair, and maintenance professions. Civil or criminal law enforcement, employees who investigate suspected illegal activity, refer results of investigations to the courts, and administer the temporary detention of suspected criminals pending judicial action. Equal employment opportunity and diversity, employees promoting equal employment and diversity in the workplace. Management, employees with significant contributions to the mission and their organization. Professional, salaried employees with competence, efficiency, and accomplishments in their professional field. Science and technology, employees exhibiting exceptional performance in the scientific or technical field. And finally, service to the community, employees who volunteer in their community, servicing needs of an organization outside of the federal government. For more information, please feel free to refer to the program. Thank you.
We received more than 100 nominations highlighting all the great accomplishments of the federal employees within the Bay Area. Before we recognize the finalists, here are the nominees. HR Recruitment and Strategic Business Unit Team, Marigold Manzarate, the Sterile Processing Services Professionals, Clinical Resources Hub Advanced Medical Support Assistant Team, Marianne Ballard, Sabrina Fierro, Suzanne Cisneros, Diana Liu. The Administrative Services Team, Allison Kahn, Olga Cantu, Stephen Miller. TSA Oakland, the Northern California Illicit Digital Economy Task Force, Anna Liza D. Fernandez, Tommy Mendoza, Dr. Shalini Patel, Maria C. Lopez, Laura Ostman, Kimberly Valadez. JCM Management Team, Robert Baggett, Sandra Hugan, Alfred Orth, Paulina Shung, Jacob Maikau, Aaron Nguyen, Kate Portsborn, Maria G. Limosnero, Shelley Miyasaki, Ryan Bales, Bobby Jane Ruiz, Carolyn Wong, Ken Langford, Tamara Ribas, Edita Debauska, David La Rosa Presame, Christina Engel, the Transition Referral and Coordination Team, Andrew Mick, the Vision 21 Centralized Eligibility and Appeals Team, Megan Hayter, Corinne Condon, Christopher Nowakowski, John Gustafson, the Western Regional Office Defense Community Infrastructure Pilot Program, the Western Regional Office Consolidated Legal Center, Rebecca Morris, Andrea Vanderlucht, Gerald Carlin, the Primary Care Mental Health Integration and Medical Practice, Women's Mental Health Program, Tracy Kenahan, Amanda Schramm, the San Francisco VA Infection Control Team, the San Francisco VA COVID Vaccination Team, Aaron Coffin, Jennifer Van Way, Eugenia C. Franco, the EPA Region 9 Laptop Deployment Team, David Sparks, San Francisco VA Office of Information and Technology, the San Francisco VA Healthcare Center Services Center,
Autumn Rowe exhibits the finest qualities of a contracting officer and is the model federal employee. Ms. Rowe accomplishes the delicate balancing act of providing exceptional customer service while simultaneously holding customers accountable. She facilitated the most significant small business contract in the history of Region 9. Through the process, she provided outstanding mentorship to junior and senior contracting officers within the office.
Over the past few years, Kay has taken her program and streamlined the purchase request approval process. In her first year, she successfully cleared a significant backlog by working systematically through the aged requests. Kay has a solid commitment to excellence, engaging with her customers to work more effectively and gaining valuable feedback to improve processes and procedures. An assistant chief within the Space, Science, and Astrobiology Division noted, "With the support from Kay Twitchell, we have been able to work through and understand what is needed to purchase hardware and specialized scientific software."
San Francisco VA Healthcare System's Business and Procurement Planning section is an integral part of the supply chain. They demonstrate cohesive teamwork, dedication, and genuine motivation that affects various services within the facility and makes a difference every day. They have been critical in the facility's acquisition and fulfillment equipment, supplies, services, and construction requirements. Their determination significantly contributed to the organization's missions and goals of providing the best care to our veterans and making SFVA one of the best places to work. Team members include Altia Wolfert, Ben Krimmel, Tanika Turley, Alexander Heck, Sharice Sims, Vilma Revolorio, Lily Gabrielle, Isabel Arroyo, Calvin Daniels, Annabelle Massey, Alfonso Nacion, Jovan Samante, William Rubio, and Carol Lamb.
Stephen Jackson is recognized for an outstanding performance serving as local property officer for the area port of San Francisco. Mission Support Specialist Jackson worked tirelessly, including travel on weekends to several ports and outer ports within the area port's jurisdiction to manage the property and prepare for the annual inventory. He formulated and executed an aggressive plan to identify excess and e-waste controlled obsolete assets, reducing the count from 6,000 assets to 4,500. This action significantly reduced the inventory count and time required by inventory takers to complete the mission. This action saved greater than 80 person hours in inventory completion time and SAP administrative processing.
The remarkable financial administrative team of the Federal Public Defender Team, Joanne Nguyen, Rachel Schumont, and David Concepcion, have been working together seamlessly since 2015 as one unit with a collective goal of accountability, transparency, and excellence. They have magnificently worked together with two exceptionally complex financial management platforms. Their hard work, dependability, patience, and commitment to our office success have allowed them to achieve a nearly impossible task of fiscal prudence and responsibility. They take their fiduciary responsibility so seriously that since fiscal year 2015, they have successfully passed every single audit with no remarks or deficiencies. This means that as it relates to documentation, financial and procurement guidelines and regulations, and budgetary requirements, they have had nearly perfect marks on every audit for 7 fiscal years. This is a highly commendable feat that is only achieved by having accountability and responsibility primary in every aspect of their work every day. You cannot achieve something so complex with such a large budget without being meticulous about accountability.
Miss Veronica Laird is always learning, constantly educating, courageous in meeting new challenges, respected by her peers throughout NASA, and provides uncompromising assistance to all in a high-stress environment. She embodies excellence and represents our Center Director and NASA Ames Research Center with grace, dedication, and professionalism.
Risolda Gonzalez is one of the most hardworking lead MSAs within the clinics. She's the epitome of eye care values of the department at the SFVA. As a lead MSA, she is committed to caring for our veterans and advocating their needs to provide excellent patient care. She helps patients get their correct scheduled appointments while also leading her MSA staff. She turned the clinic around once she became lead. Not only was she able to get our numbers down, but she was also hands-on with the rest of the crew, always making sure that they knew how much she appreciated their hard work. She deserves this, hands down. We all know everyone in her department would agree.
Since the onset of the COVID-19 crisis, in addition to his daily carpenter duties, Josefino Cervantes, in the first 9 months, logged over 1,056 COVID work hours dedicated solely to the prevention of the spread of COVID-19. Josefino custom fabricated and installed over 250 plexiglass barriers throughout the campus to prevent the spread of COVID-19 and other airborne pathogens. From initial coordination with staff to final installation, the barriers continue to provide staff and parents with safe interactions. The barriers also help alleviate the constant draw on the PPE supply, which is a tremendous savings to the government. They also provide an immeasurable sense of safety and security to patients, visitors, and medical staff.
Alexandra is one of the most hardworking, dedicated medical support assistants we have within the eye and ENT clinics at the SFVA. She's an excellent example of the eye care values of the department at SFVA. She's always veterans first, and her motto essentially is that the priority is the veterans at SFVA. Alexandra shows compassion to veterans and families by going above and beyond for their ENT needs. She helps the patients get their correctly scheduled appointments. She highly respects all the staff and everyone that she engages with at the SFVA, whether it's parents, families, anyone she comes across. And that creates such a positive environment in the department. Veterans and the team are always so grateful for her care and her teamwork and greatly appreciate her services.
Dan Kelson has contributed immeasurably to the San Francisco VA healthcare system and the radiology department's accomplishments over this past very challenging year. He played a critical role in multiple major projects to expand VA services to reach more of our veterans and to work endless hours developing, implementing, maintaining programs, processes, safety, protocols, patient flow, and more. This has been crucial in our daily operations throughout the pandemic, and he is an excellent asset to the radiology team. San Francisco VA healthcare system is lucky to have him.
The medical practice call center staff assists in over 300 calls a day. In late January, the management team services added the COVID hotlines to our team. Unlike other demands, the COVID assessment screening questions last 11 to 15 minutes per call, as compared to 20-plus patient calls every 3 to 4 minutes. These calls do not get counted in our national reporting. Even with all of the additional needs, the team maintained its stellar record and assisting thousands of veterans in getting their COVID vaccines scheduled. Team members include Sosafina Tagalu, Jamil Rashid, Neva Kabatbat, Maria Abadilla, Jules B. Lara, Carol Bartolome.
The Office of Veteran Experience's team of patient advocates have a very vital and demanding job, assisting veterans in navigating the San Francisco VA healthcare system and championing service recovery when veterans and other beneficiaries run into many difficulties in obtaining these services. Leveraging high emotional intelligence and excellent listening skills, the advocates connect with the veterans and earn their trust, so that they can productively work together to iron out the facts of any situation and thoroughly understand the unique needs of each veteran. They then determine the best path forward and utilize excellent communication skills to help veterans understand what steps they need to take in order to get the resources that they need, what they can expect from the process, and what will be expected. While the veterans often come to the patient advocate angry, frustrated, or disappointed, They always leave a beat. Thankful and proud of the services that they receive.
This special agent utilizes experience as a former university professor, U.S. Navy officer, and training as a certified Network Intrusion Response Program or NITRO investigator to represent the U.S. Secret Service as a group leader of the San Francisco Field Office Cyber Fraud Task Force Digital Evidence Forensic Laboratory at the very highest level, in addition to a heavy investigative caseload, management of a full-time confidential informant, and presenting at regional, national, and international conferences. As the pandemic changed workloads and assignments, this special agent developed an online teaching series for investigative methods in cybercrimes cases, led training for agents moving from protective missions to investigations activities, and developed curriculum and virtual instruction in support of the cyber-enabled financial crimes investigation related to COVID-19 pandemic fraud. This special agent's investigations also led to the uncovering of $16.8 million in losses from 200 compromised virtual currency accounts and the current unrecovered finances under investigation by the Joint Cyber Action Task Force, or JCAT, and their member countries.
Congratulations to Homeland Security Investigations Special Agent leading Project Cruise Control and Operation Red Rum. This special agent has demonstrated exceptional performance and has consistently delivered meaningful quantitative and qualitative results. This special agent successfully dismantled criminal street gangs posing a direct threat to Bay Area public safety through the investigation and criminal prosecution under Project Cruise Control and Operation Red Rum. The special agent also created the conditions in Monterey County for Homeland Security Investigations to establish a resident agent in charge to more effectively deploy federal investigative resources in the greater Southern Bay Area. Congratulations.
The Northern California Illicit Digital Economy Task Force, NCIDE, was formed in May 2018 in the Eastern District of California to investigate all forms of illicit dark web and cryptocurrency activity, to target dark web vendors engaged in the sale of illegal drugs, and to target peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchangers who promote and benefit from the illegal sale of narcotics. NCIDE agents have conducted enforcement actions in several federal districts across the United States. NCIDE achievements include over 24 individuals arrested for the sale and distribution of narcotics, the seizure of 30 firearms, $2 million of U.S. currency, $28 million in the value of cryptocurrency, the seizure of 62 kilograms of crystal methamphetamine, 10 kilograms of cocaine, 8 kilograms of heroin, 2,000 fentanyl pills, pill presses, and various other narcotics. In addition, NCIDE agents have assisted in the takedown of numerous dark web vendors and peer-to-peer cryptocurrency exchangers across the United States.
Nefertiti Sadat went above and beyond her duties as an equal opportunity specialist at the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Civil Rights, where she worked for over 20 years before her passing in late April of 2021 due to COVID-19. As a bilingual Spanish and English speaker, she routinely volunteered to respond to the many Spanish monolingual complainants and customer service callers to the San Francisco Office of Civil Rights. In addition, she provided assistance to staff on limited English proficient and English learner discrimination investigations, often volunteering for assignments. Her dedication to these LEP and EL investigations was remarkable, seeing as though Nefertiti also managed a standard caseload of work in another area of expertise. She developed a strong investigatory technique which resulted in exceptional rapport with both complainants and recipients. She provided more than 20 years of exceptional subject matter expertise in several types of cases and was a highly sought after.
Her irrepressible initiative, investigative skills, and leadership in inspecting and diagnosing compliance problems at complex industrial facilities and following up with data and analyses to inform federal compliance actions has served to protect countless vulnerable communities from pollution. Sharon recently uncovered violations at a national company with 130 facilities, resulting in an agreement for the company to spend $500,000 to improve its operating practices and pay a $102,000 penalty. She influenced how this company will handle millions of gallons of liquid hazardous wastes at its facilities across the country. And this is but one of several precedent-setting environmental enforcement cases she has resolved.
Officer Klein served as an interpreter for Russian language-speaking individuals victimized in a very challenging and sensitive child pornography case involving a lawful permanent resident living with them in the Sacramento area. Her insight, professionalism, and respectful approach to the situation, including the mother and 2 children, directly contributed to the arrest of the subject, who now pens prosecution. Her skill and approach allowed for a successful partnership between Homeland Security investigations and the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Fraud Detection and National Security Team. And most importantly, it ensured the future safety of the children.
While interviewing a Cambodian woman and her son for an adjustment of status immigration case, the green card step on a pathway to citizenship for immigrants, Officer Dowdles discerned that they were in distress and fearful of the petitioner and his attorney, who were also in the interview room. Quick thinking, extraordinary measures, and collaboration with Officer Garnett and the DHS Human Trafficking Group helped to ensure the safety of the woman and her child. While officers are trained to recognize the signs of human trafficking, this is not a situation that is routinely encountered. It is also apparent that the officers created a professional, safe, and welcoming environment for the applicant and her son to disclose the difficult nature of their situation. This case of suspected human trafficking, forced labor situation, which Officers Dowdles and Garnett uncovered, was the first of a particular type reported to Health and Human Services and resulted in U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service headquarters issuing new guidance to each field office nationwide. Officers Dowdles and Garnett displayed the utmost professionalism, sensitivity, courtesy, discretion, and judgment while developing a very challenging and complex case. They managed this unique, difficult, and fast-moving situation with aplomb, and their actions from the heat of the moment are now the benchmark agency-wide for responses to similar circumstances.
The San Francisco Veterans Affairs Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Informed Hiring Toolkit Task Force, consisting of Drs. William Hua, David Pennington, Shilpa Reddy, and Maitri Amareskire, developed a diversity, equity, and inclusion informed hiring toolkit that enabled hiring managers and hiring and selection committees to reduce the impact of implicit biases and promote equal employment opportunities in the workplace. They created a comprehensive guide that provides concrete suggestions to the hiring committee at each stage of the selection process and consideration for more objective and inclusive rating procedures. The toolkit has been widely used by the entire San Francisco VA Mental Health Service and is in consideration for adoption and utilization by the entire San Francisco VA healthcare system.
To increase cultural competency and to complement regional anti-racism and environmental justice efforts aimed at ensuring the fair treatment and meaningful involvement of all people, the Working Effectively Training Series team launched a new internal training series for employees working with federally recognized tribes and U.S.-affiliated Pacific Islands and Territories. The Working Effectively series was created and presented by Region 9 staff and has resulted in a more inclusive, engaged, and responsive workforce. In just 1 year, these novel and educational trainings have re-energized the workforce to gain greater insight, inclusivity, and cultural sensitivity when serving the needs of the incredibly diverse communities throughout the California, Arizona, Nevada, and the Pacific Islands.
Robert's contributions over the past year were and continue to be immeasurable. In addition to his role as the Region 9 National Preparedness Division Director, he has served as the Deputy Federal Coordinating Officer supporting Region 9's 4 states, 3 territories, and 157 tribes in their fight against COVID-19, spanning across 8 time zones, working day and night to make this effort happen. His leadership helped to bring the full breadth of the federal government to the pandemic response, to provide medical staffing and equipment augmentation, to ensure the most accurate models were being shared with our stakeholders to inform mitigation actions, and he played an integral role in FEMA Region 9 granting more than $1 billion in public assistance funding specific to the vaccination mission. All these efforts ensured that more than 33.2% of the total population across Region 9 have been fully vaccinated, including more than 33.6% here in the state of California. The efforts also ensured that over 49% of the regional population received their first dose, including more than half of all Californians. Robert was also instrumental in helping FEMA and the state of California stand up the first of its kind Great Plates Delivered program and Project Room Key. Both of those later emulated across the nation to provide life-sustaining support to our country's most vulnerable populations. His exceptional leadership also established the first federal Level 1 community vaccination center in the nation here in Oakland and the second one down at CSU Los Angeles, and it provided the model following throughout the rest of the United States. In addition to these accomplishments, Robert has at times worn other additional hats at the same time, serving as the Region 9 Acting Deputy Regional Administrator as well as the Region 9 Recovery Division Director. Robert exemplifies what it means to serve the public, and FEMA is grateful for his unrelenting commitment to helping people before, during, and after disasters.
Robert Baggett's mission support responsibilities range over the entire operations of FEMA's regional office in Oakland. He oversees all physical, environmental, and safety initiatives for our 2 floors of 50,000 square feet of space within the downtown Oakland high-rise. Through space planning and design, Robert ensures optimal environment that allows all 300 employees to accomplish their critical missions without workplace hindrances. In addition to steady state responsibilities, he supports extended offices in Honolulu and Pasadena. He also serves as the support branch director for COVID-19 Joint Field Office. In addition, Robert has been a fabulous supporter of SFFEB and a great interview for our leadership development program. The majority of Paulina's career has been spent serving in various capacities with GSA's Facility Management Division. This division is focused on providing workspace for the federal government. Paulina has been the cornerstone for accomplishing the division's mission over the years. She has a track record of finding ways to improve current practices along with providing timely support to the region's 14 field offices located throughout California, Arizona, Hawaii, and Nevada. Her achievements are far-reaching, touching not only the staff she manages and field office customers, but also the many federal tenant agencies that occupy approximately 40 million square feet of office space within the region's portfolio. Laura's presence has a calming influence on our staff. Her leadership has proved invaluable. Her attention to detail is impeccable. She asserts administrative control, oversight, and not only protected the government funding, but improved our efficiency and allowed the park to move faster to create a safe and enjoyable experience for visitors to the Whiskeytown National Rec area. Her accomplishments will go well above what is expected in assisting with Whiskeytown's COVID-19 pandemic response and management. Laura is an asset to the federal government and one of the best public service. Mr. Meekhouse serves as supervisory attorney in the San Francisco region of the Office of General Counsel, Social Security Administration. His outstanding stewardship of the practice area facilitates the General Counsel's ability to meet its mission to promote, advocate, and protect all legal interests of Social Security by ensuring employees' accountability through performance management, delivering the highest quality innovative service to our client components, and creatively and proactively communicating in order to fill information gaps and build shared knowledge and understanding.
Dr. Heather Nye led the COVID-19 vaccine task force of the San Francisco VA. Through her leadership, this team managed to deliver 2,700 vaccines in just 1 week, and within 1 month of vaccines arriving, had managed to vaccinate over 85% of all employees at the San Francisco VA, which was the highest in the VA hospital network by a substantial margin. It is no exaggeration to say that Dr. Nye's leadership and effective management of this group made the process more efficient and effective, and in turn, saved hospitalizations and lives of both our veterans and staff alike.
GLE oversees all financial operations and patient-facing administrative services and programs, and has long been recognized by her peers as a leader and expert in managing operation and streamlining processes. While her outstanding performance matrix speak volumes, it is how she elevates people to be the best version of themselves and to lead others well, which needs to be celebrated. Gia always recognizes that creativity comes before capital, and that large budgets are not required to manage successful employee engagement. She is a relationship builder who strives to strengthen teams, a strategic thinker who approaches each new challenge as a unique opportunity, and takes on an empathetic, optimistic, and energetic attitude towards every individual. Above all, she is a servant leader who fosters a culture of good stewardship and transparency, as well as a mentor who formally and informally encourages and challenges dozens of novice and seasoned leaders across several VA healthcare systems. It is especially rewarding to her to help leaders build confidence, expand their professional network, and present them with leadership opportunities. Thank you for investing so much into the success and future of San Francisco VA healthcare system and the healthcare leaders of tomorrow.
Karen is a tireless advocate for continuous learning and demonstrates leadership, commitment, and performance beyond the call of duty. She has taken on several coaching and mentoring assignments beyond her official role and has graciously taken on additional duties at work. For example, she was unexpectedly given the responsibility of leading the San Francisco VA healthcare system FY20 All-Employee Survey. With roughly a month to prepare and market the survey, she encouraged staff to voice their opinions and positively affect change in our healthcare system. The survey had a 74.3% response rate, the highest ever for the San Francisco VA healthcare system. In response to COVID-19, she led her team through the transformation of the new employee orientation from a 2-day in-person format to a 100% virtual event within a matter of days, and it has been recognized by the VA regional office as a best practice. The pivot included a redevelopment of every part of the training and turned new employee orientation into a fun, interactive, and engaging experience while better emphasizing the vision and mission of the VA. Over 20 presentation teams had to be notified of the changes, trained on connecting virtually, and then supported with bi-weekly practice sessions. More than 1,000 employees and interns at all levels took part in these trainings and certainly feel supported, respected, engaged, and confident of the future growth of the San Francisco VA healthcare system.
During the pandemic, hospital bed availability was critical. Nia Salakelu created several systems, programs, and teams to ensure efficiencies, promote safety, save money, and to provide the correct level of care for patients. Emergency room referrals from various hospitals and medical offices were often inappropriate or for unwarranted reasons. She reduced these unneeded hospital bed admissions from 82 to 46% over the course of the year, due to the implementation of her case management pilot program for emergency room admissions. This was the first time that case management has been utilized in this kind of setting for the San Francisco VA healthcare system. At a bottleneck for efficient patient care, she created a team of nurses to review appropriate admissions coming from the emergency room to ensure patients were placed in the appropriate level of care. She created preventive solutions to unnecessary admissions by patients coming to the emergency room for equipment like walkers. She also found additional efficiencies by creating the extended care unit and streamlined pre-admission for scheduled and unscheduled surgeries.
As the Administrative Officer of Surgical Services, Raymond Hansen has fostered an environment where employees feel like they have the potential for growth and where their work and role is valued. He is a constant innovator, known for his ideas and techniques which support higher education. Employee engagement and satisfaction. When the DoD SkillBridge program was opened to federal agencies, Raymond immediately set up a partnership between the San Francisco VA healthcare system and the Department of Defense to recruit active service members who were entering the last 6 months of service and looking to transition into federal civilian careers. He designed a detailed training program and curriculum for the service member to be successful and to not only be successful and not only successfully implemented the DoD SkillBridge program for surgical services, but also rolled it out to other services through the Hire Right, Hire Fast program. In response to the 2020 All-Employee Survey results, he created training videos explaining the results, presenting these videos to each section, and then developed a monthly surgical service newsletter called Up in Stitches to encourage growth and innovation from employees who want to expand their skills and responsibilities beyond their current job duties. His thinking outside of the box mentality has led to huge improvements to the service line efficiency and patient care, including a process that utilizes Microsoft Teams for more efficient scheduling of operating room procedures, adopting technologies from other departments like the LEAF portal to provide better efficiency of operations, and has learned about programs to create things like a better patient sign-out process, leading to a large decrease in the number of unsigned notes and open encounters for the facility.
At the beginning of the pandemic, there were widespread outbreaks of COVID in homeless shelters, and this leadership group formed to address the testing need for our vulnerable homeless veterans. They began housing potentially COVID-positive and COVID-positive veterans in isolated housing well before the city of San Francisco had begun to open hotels to house exposed veterans. The group collaborated with local public health departments and across several San Francisco VA healthcare system health work units, including senior leadership, the incident command system, nutrition, travel, business services, logistics, the emergency department, the respiratory clinic, and voluntary services to rapidly implement several lines of service, including housing, isolated housing, nutritional food for those in quarantine, creation of a food bank, primary care services, and COVID testing for 338 vulnerable veterans. Once the COVID vaccine was available, the group administered 790 vaccinations to homeless veterans from Eureka to the Bay Area, using a mobile VA vaccination van, which they were able to procure. This team also worked closely with diversity, equity, and inclusion champions to ensure their education and communication around COVID testing and vaccines engaged this population in the most effective way. They sought to make this team inclusive of a diverse group of staff to reflect the veterans they serve. As a result, the San Francisco VA healthcare system outperformed peers in the vaccination rate to these racial and ethnic minorities. Team members included Emma Shaw, Kim Babcock, Keisha Bellamy, Lawrence Chappelle, Jonathan Johnson, Elda Khan, Harry Lamperis, Nicholas Madsen, and Alice Sun.
Mr. Sarah and Mr. Harris help save our facility over $800,000 each year by recognizing a technical glitch in the National Cardiac Device Surveillance Program that affected our workload capture, and then design internal software to solve these errors. They did this on their own accord without specific request or prompting. And as part of their everyday attitude towards doing their best work and executing on our mission. Beyond this specific instance, Mr. Sarah and Mr. Harris are absolutely exemplary employees who have myriad complex responsibilities and can always be relied upon to the needed administrative support that our frontline providers need to give our veterans the care that they deserve.
Commander Donnelly is a crisis leader with a demonstrated ability to thrive under stress and manage multiple contingencies simultaneously by building strong teams and leveraging scarce resources. His expertise was critical in District 11's ability to provide accountability for 5,000 Coast Guard members and their families during the 2020 wildfire season, including evacuation orders affecting 160 members. He also established the Coast Guard contact tracing team throughout California, training 85 contract tracers to serve 7,000 service members well before the winter spike of 900 plus internal COVID cases. His lessons learned improved national guidance and shared as a program best practice nationwide.
District 42 is a newly merged organizational district which contains 4 field offices located in San Francisco, San Jose, Sacramento, and Fresno. The 13 members of the integrated process team created a model for standardizing training in one of the most challenging and complex fields of adjudication that the USCIS undertakes, adjustments of status, or AOS training. Despite the importance and universal necessity for this training, there are no nationally standardized materials nor training schedule. Therefore, most offices throughout the United States have their own local versions of training which vary with frequency, length, and materials. For example, during a sample 12-week period, one office in the newly merged district was holding a single 80-hour AOS training session, while another office was holding 2 160-hour AOS training sessions. Determining eligibility for AOS is an extremely intricate process that involves significant knowledge of complex law, policy, and awareness of the dynamic world of immigration. This innovative team consisted of 2 subject matter experts from each field office, 2 fraud experts, a quality management specialist, and 2 training program managers who combined their diverse skill sets to revolutionize the AOS training program and to provide improved efficiency and accountability. Beyond their regular duties and over the course of 9 months, they created standardized training materials, identified and instituted best practices, and assembled a unified schedule for a single district-wide AOS training program. Thanks to this working group, the new training plan will save the district an estimated 320 training hours over a sample 12-week period and will allow those subject matter expert hours to be used for other duties. Team members include Fiona Dave, Jeff Passage, Ellen Jenkins, Sue Saayo, Jabir Riwal, Eric Orr, Tinini Bui Frigg, Monica Lugo, Allison Berg, Patricia Correct, Mike Locke, Barbara Calhoun, and Emily Gibbs.
For exceptional service to lessen the threat of COVID-19 in Northern California, in addition to 3 other states, 3 territories, and 156 federally recognized tribes across 8 time zones, Region 9 COVID-19 Response Team, Robert Pesapane, David Passy, Sean Motz, Christine Bergignoni, Thomas Erickson, Brad Weirenberg, Audrey Williams, Nick Loussard, Raylan Melton, John Paul Henderson, Quentin Thompson, Roxanne Crawford, Victor Concepcion Gonzalez, Delaney Gardner, Lily Huang, Frank Chonga, Catherine Pease, and Matthew Johns, HHS Office of the Assistant for Health Region 9, all worked together nonstop since the first COVID-19 quarantine efforts in the U.S. They have been operating continuously through efforts to slow the spread of the virus, providing resources to augment overwhelmed medical systems and support mass vaccination sites, which include stand-up of the first federally operated pilot sites of community vaccination centers in the nation, which were in Oakland and in Los Angeles. Region 9 brought together states, local agencies, and private and nonprofit sector partners to help mitigate unprecedented response requirements. These include proactive planning for emerging COVID-19 requirements, contingency planning for all hazards in a pandemic environment, and leveraging non-traditional approaches to alleviate the stressors affecting the medical supply chain. They worked tirelessly in developing a first-of-a-kind data modeling and analytics system that helps stakeholders mitigate the unnecessary loss of life.
Through the efforts of the EPA's geographic team, EPA's relationship with state, territorial, and tribal partners have been taken to a new level, marked by collaboration based on shared goals. The geographic team created standardized and highly efficient processes and tools that have also improved EPA's oversight of work funded by federal Clean Water Act and Safe Drinking Water Act grants. Team members include Catherine Rao, Jared Vollmer, Ephraim Leon Guerrero, Anna Yen, Becky Mitchell, Joe Morgan, Elizabeth Borowicz, and Danielle Angelis.
Administrative Judge Tamayo Ribas has honorably served as the Merit System Protection Board Administrative Judge for over 15 years. During the past year, she has continued to process a large volume of appeals and hold numerous remote hearings despite the many challenges faced by the board during the pandemic. Judge Ribas also, at the same time, continued her invaluable work as one of the board's more experienced mediators and also served as a mentor to several of the Western Regional Office's new judges. She truly leads by example. Amanda Schramm is the digital manager for the National Park Service in the West. In the past year, she also served as the co-chair of the National Web Council, and she played a critical role in the successful rollout of the Park Service's new mobile app. You should check it out. It provides fundamentally new opportunity for the agency to welcome and engage all generations of visitors on one cohesive digital platform. We recognize that we only had one chance to make a first impression, and we wanted to shine in that moment. Amanda's leadership was so successful that 100% of the parks in the region met their baseline requirements and 2/3 exceeded them, making an outstanding first impression to promote the region's excellent app.
With the COVID-19 pandemic and worsening opioid overdose epidemic, reducing opioid-related harm among veterans is a key priority for both the White House and Veterans Health Administration. Dr. Reif has been critical to VHA's efforts to reducing opioid-related harm. Dr. Reif started at VHA in 2015, and many are amazed at what she has accomplished since then. Dr. Reif is the epitome of VHA's I Care values. She goes above and beyond to lead quality improvement efforts that improve care for veterans and publishes these remarkable efforts to spread them to other VHA facilities.
Ms. Hinterberger has proven that if there's a will, there is a way. Ms. Hinterberger is recognized and known by many within the facility for her persistence, initiative, commitment, and dedication in pursuing the implementation of Project Happen at the San Francisco VA healthcare system, which includes the Community Living Center. Her willingness to sacrifice her time and efforts to get things done is immeasurable. Project Happen, which she implemented at SFVA in 2020, helped reduce the incidence of non-ventilator hospital-acquired pneumonia in the acute inpatient units. Prior to the implementation of the project, there were a total of 10 confirmed non-ventilator hospital-acquired pneumonia (NVHAP) cases in 2019. After the implementation of the program, the incidence of NVHAP was down to 3 confirmed cases as of February 2021. According to research, preventing one case of NVHAP yields an estimated cost avoidance of $40,000. Ms. Hinterberger is continuously working to support the project, and her service has been invaluable.
In 2020, this team of 5 agency attorneys handled over 500 requests for assistance with compassionate release cases. An unprecedented surge, these cases were filed based on COVID-19 pandemic, and it required expeditious gathering of records from around the country. They involved extensive interaction with prosecutors, defense counsel, probation officers under great time constraints. The professionalism of this team was extraordinary as they worked well beyond their normal hours to keep up with the constant demand for information. Team members include Dominic Ayotte, Eric Hammonds, Catherine Carpenter, Robert France, and Jolene Harcrow.
The EPA Region 9 Compliance Assistance GAP Pilot Team is being nominated for its outstanding leadership and collaborative problem solving for protecting federal grant funds while promoting tribal successes and strengthening their capacity to manage funds and deliver environmental results. Team members include Jeremy Bauer, Marisol Anaya, Abimbola Odusoga, Veronica Swan, Destiny Cooper, Michelle Baker, Susan Chu, Fareed Ali, Angela Mendiola, and Nellie Sun.
In partnership with state and local air quality agencies, Ashley Graham led a team of EPA experts to support the development and approval of air quality plans that make substantial and sustained improvements in particulate matter and sulfur dioxide air quality in California and Arizona.
As an electrical engineer and project manager, Vin H. Ngo has consistently demonstrated superior technical knowledge of electrical designs and principles in support of all Civil Engineering Unit CEU Oakland personnel. He has consistently provided outstanding performance to support numerous construction projects at the Coast Guard units outside of CEU Oakland's area of responsibility. Most notably, Mr. Ngo responded to emergent repairs at the request of the Coast Guard Office of Civil Engineering to assist CEU Cleveland with assessing and designing repairs for hurricane-damaged Coast Guard facilities along the Gulf Coast. Mr. Ngo exemplifies CEU's Oakland's mission support mantra with a willingness to put in the extra effort to complete emergency projects anywhere. Bravo Zulu on a job well done, Mr. Ngo.
Deborah Denton has an unparalleled commitment to public service and environmental protection, demonstrated through innovation and collaboration. She has made sustained, outstanding contributions in improving our understanding of the toxic effects of chemicals in the aquatic environment in order to ensure that the birds, fish, and other organisms that live in rivers and streams are not harmed by the thousands of chemicals used by Californians every day.
Early in March 2020, when the COVID-19 outbreak hit the United States, the San Francisco VA healthcare system microbiology and molecular laboratory team, which included Gia Lee, Lucy Luong, Arthur Lum, Leila Shatara, Emmanuel Romero, Mary Joan Arguion, Tiffany He, Michael Nair, Deke Huntley, Christopher Taylor, Chania Mark Liu, Michael Bridges, Lisa Schneider, Gina Lynn Corbello, and Lori Morgan immediately stepped up to coordinate a SARS-CoV-2 testing for veterans and employees. The San Francisco VA was one of the very first VA hospitals in all of the country to implement on-site SARS-CoV-2 PCR testing. The SFVA lab team built a high-throughput testing system, resulting in the performance of over 42,000 PCR tests since the start of the pandemic. The team also designed efficient workflows to screen and protect vulnerable veterans in long-term care facilities like the CLC, State Veterans Home, etc., from COVID-19, both on its campus and throughout Northern California.
Colin Baldwin goes above and beyond position qualification standards by staying abreast with current and upcoming technologies and continuing his education by maintaining several Microsoft CompTIA professional IT licenses and certifications. He repeatedly extends IT expertise and support to Mine Safety and Health Administration personnel outside of his assigned Vacaville district. He does so to ensure success of the mission objectives by ensuring all MSHA personnel's IT needs are met. His contributions and efforts support MSHA employees so that they can accomplish the agency's mission and goals.
While deployed to the Paradise, California area in the wake of devastating wildfires, survivor-applicant interactions led him to recognize a significant resource gap. Working in close conjunction with the National Recovery Framework, long-term recovery objectives in the housing arena, he initiated research and development of a strategic decision-making tool to help Paradise survivors navigate toward potentially viable housing solutions. Joe's research and interagency collaborative efforts led to a decision matrix that ultimately culminated in a vector tool. This emerging effort continues to be the product of interagency collaboration and is revised iteratively to accommodate recommendations by stakeholders. The development of the decision-making tool took a myriad of parameters into consideration, including community interests in overcoming impediments to viable solutions, navigating complex housing option processes, and capturing information on existing resources and authorities. The unique alignment of Joe's background in logistics, incident investigations, and root cause analysis, coupled with his natural empathy for others and community interest in this tool, all helped to make this project feasible. This product continues to be well received by a growing list of stakeholders. Joe also continues to provide unwavering support of multi-county debris removal missions associated with the 2020 California wildfire season. Joe's engagements since August of 2020 include 4,800 individual site remediations across 30 California counties, as well as the removal of thousands of hazardous trees burned by multiple record wildfires.
The 2020 Combined Federal Campaign, or CFC, introduced a new set of challenges for federal agencies due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and the situation for the USDA Food Nutrition Service Western Regional Office was no exception. With employees working 100% telework for most of the year, the regional CFC team of Ernest Stein, Barbara Smith, Eric Lai, and Elizabeth Libby Albert knew they needed to explore a new and innovative way to engage and educate employees about the CFC in a virtual environment and share the many worthy charitable organizations in need. During the campaign period, the CFC devised a plan consisting of 3 virtual lunch and learn events with guest speakers from animal welfare, veteran, and food bank charities, the development of policy to allow staff to use up to 8 hours of admin leave to volunteer at local food banks, the development of bi-weekly motivational emails, and consistent messaging from all leadership teams throughout the region. At the conclusion of the CFC campaign, regional employees donated $11,700 in 86 total volunteer hours to help people and communities in need.
And now, what you've all been waiting for, the winners of the 2021 Federal Employees of the Year are
Kay Twitchell, NASA. Business and Procurement Planning Section, San Francisco VA Medical Center, Logistics Service, San Francisco VA Healthcare System. Althea Wolford, Wen Fang Krimmel, Tanika Turley, Alexander Heck, Charisse Sims, Vilma Revelorio, Lily Gabriel, Isabel Arroyo, Calvin Daniels, Annabelle Massey, Alfonso Nacion, Jovan Samante, William Rubio, and Carol Lamb. Josefino Cervantes, San Francisco VA Healthcare System. Medical Practice Call Center, San Francisco VA Healthcare System. Sosefina Tagalu, Jamil Rashid, Nieva Kababat, Maria Abadilla, Jules B. Lara, Carol Bartolome. Office of Veteran Experience Patient Advocates, San Francisco VA Healthcare System. Amin Edabar, Arnell Bale, Ann Wolf, Fila Cole, Trina Bergetti, Robert Fisher. Winner, U.S. Secret Service. Winner, Homeland Security Investigations. Sharon Lynn, EPA. Working Effectively Training Series Team, EPA. Destiny Cooper, Laura Ebert, Jeremy Bauer, Ivan Liben, Mimi Newton, Rich Campbell, Janet Magnuson, John Herbst, Jason Brush, Loretta Venegas, Catherine Harper, Damian Wilson, Bethany Dreyfus, Jacob Phipps, Elsa Johnson, Sandra Leone, John McCarroll, Shireen D'Souza. Robert Baggett, FEMA. Dr. Heather Nye, San Francisco VA Healthcare System. Commander Stephen Donnelly, U.S. Coast Guard. Region 9 COVID-19 Pandemic Response, FEMA. Robert Pesapane, David Passy, Sean Matz, Christine Borgognani, Thomas Erickson, Fred Werenberg, Audrey Williams, Nick Lesord, Raylyn Melton, John Paul Henderson, Quentin Thompson, Roxanne Crawford, Victor Concepcion Gonzalez, Delane Gardner, Lily Hong, Frank Chonga, Catherine Peace, and Matthew Johns. Tessa Reif, Farm D, BCGP, San Francisco VA Healthcare System. Teresita Hinterberger, San Francisco VA Healthcare System. Vin H. Nyo, U.S. Coast Guard. Microbiology and Molecular Laboratory COVID-19 Testing Team, San Francisco VA Healthcare System. Jai Y. Lee, Lucy Long, Arthur Lum, Layla Shatara, Emmanuel Romero, Mary Joanne Aglione, Tiffany He, Michael Nair, Deke Huntley, Christopher Taylor, Chang-Yi Mark Liu, Michael Bridges, Lisa Schneider, Jenilyn Corbello, Lori Morgan, Colin Baldwin, Department of Labor, Joseph Grunditz, FEMA.
Congratulations to all the nominees, finalists, and winners. Your dedication to serving the public is noticed and very much appreciated.
We want to express our gratitude for all the efforts and the extra time that so many of you have spent with us during the last year and a half.
We have a new award to institute this year, the Excellence in Collaboration Award. This award is for those who have gone above and beyond in working with the SFFEB. The winners of this year's award all could have stayed in their position requirements or within their agency purview, but they recognized the significant need beyond their context and acted to benefit the wider federal community. Their actions also allowed for key intergovernmental emails, meetings, discussions, and projects, which Sarah and I could not have completed without your support.
So we're pleased to count 8 individuals as part of this inaugural award. The following 5 were invaluable to all of our work on anything and everything related to COVID. They are Matthew Johns, Commander, United States Public Health Service, Regional Health Administrator, Health and Human Services.
Lieutenant Alexander Min, former U.S. Coast Guard, Pacific Area.
Brandy Richard Thompson, Interim Director, Department of Homeland Security, Center for Faith-Based and Neighborhood Partnerships, Office of the Administrator, FEMA.
Skylar Hall, Outreach and Policy Specialist, Office of the Regional Director, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
And Shannon Dorr Marquez, Director of Safety and Emergency Management Services at the San Francisco VA Healthcare System. So, Commander Johns, first, thank you so much. You have given us so much of your time, conducted so many briefings to our governing council, many other FEB work groups. We've lent you out to other FEBs, and everybody really appreciates that. Your leadership with the Vaccine Communication Interagency Work Group was invaluable, and for all the advice and information and your strong support of all the West Coast FEBs. Thank you.
Lieutenant Alex Min, Thank you for your willingness to think outside the box when encountering barriers to completing critical missions for Coast Guard deployments, for managing a very large footprint of COVID vaccine planning, distribution, and operations with many chains of commands across various states, and for all of your work for future planning and support of FEMA's operations at the Coliseum.
To Brandy Richard Thompson and Skylar Hall, both of you, thank you so much. You exemplify interagency collaboration at its best. Brandy, you went above and beyond in your work as our chair for the Public Affairs Council by establishing our COVID vaccine communication work group. Thank you for keeping us all up to date on all things FEMA COVID related. Skylar is in charge of and did a phenomenal job of creating what is called the Intergovernmental COVID Vaccine Information Portal, which may have started as a regional resource, but quickly spread throughout the land and the FEB network and became a place for all of us to rely on for accurate information. You were also ready to brief us, Skylar, at any meeting, at any moment, at last moment requests, and really, we appreciate it. Thanks for your work.
And Shenandoah Marquez, thank you for stepping up to lead the communication efforts between VA and DHS within the region to make sure that Operation VOW was effective. You isolated problems, innovated processes, and provided excellent customer service, and led us to a level far beyond all the other regions much quicker because of your work. You also use these skills once again to solve a huge nationwide problem in order to help provide an option for the entire judicial branch of the government in order to receive COVID vaccines through their local VA.
The following three people were invaluable to all of our work on everything related to regional hiring efforts. They are
Sunena Hajela, Homeland Security Investigations, Cara Estella, Yosemite National Park, and Maricela Rosales, Department of Labor. Sunena Hajela, thank you for everything with the virtual interagency job fair, which truly was a job conference. We had you and I 5 weeks on a critical path from planning to implementation of one of the largest job fairs of any type. More than 3,000 attendees, 25 trainings for HR and federal agency leaders, more than 20 trainings for candidates, and then 30 agencies, more than 100 offices represented, and it became the model not only for DOL, but for so many other agencies, and was recognized by the Chicos and the White House as well. Cara Estella, thank you for your fierce advocacy for both the ASL provider and ASL consumer communities. It was absolutely incredible to see your advocacy. You helped us and so many other agencies see that 508 compliance was just a start. You then went above and beyond by canceling your vacation to show us all how to better meet these needs and during the 4-day job fair conference.
And last, Maricela Rosales, who's with Department of Labor in the HR department. Department of Labor funds the staff at FEB, and therefore all of our HR work goes through our department. Maricela is the picture of customer service. She is always ready to help you out. She works with the highest integrity and ingenuity. Thank you so much for helping us onboard so many interns over the past couple of years, from our leadership participants to high school interns and everyone in between. You also helped organize all the DOL participation in the job fair, and then we got a chance to help you out with DOL's job fair. Thank you for all of your assistance. Thank you all.
Today, I have the distinct honor of introducing you to the 2021 FEB Chair Award recipient, Bill Tamayo, the District Director of the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Bill has had such a remarkable career with the federal government. He has been steadfast in his work on behalf of women, minorities, and farm workers in the Central Valley. During his tenure as EEOC Regional Attorney, He obtained significant recoveries, helping disabled workers, people of color, and women with cases covering a variety of issues such as sexual harassment, people denied reasonable accommodations, denial of employment, and retaliation. His work assisting farm workers was even featured on the Frontline PBS documentary, Rape in the Fields. He has positively impacted the lives of so many people and received numerous accolades through the year. Bill has had such a distinguished career that I have brought in two special guests to help me toast Bill today. Please let me introduce Paul Chang and Ben Raju, National Co-Chairs of the White House Initiative on Asian American, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders. Paul, take it away.
Hey Bill, you've been involved with WIAPI even before there was WIAPI. You helped with the formation of the regional network and then served as the first regional network's SES advisory council member. You are the voice of those who could not speak for themselves even before you joined the federal government. Your service to the entire community is legendary. But I hear your singing is equally legendary.
Bill, it is an honor for Paul and I to have the opportunity to salute the good work you have done and continue to do. Women, children, Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, Pacific Islanders, LGBTQ+ community, as well as immigrants and people of color are just a few of the long list of individuals that have benefited from your hard work, dedication, and passion. This San Francisco FEB's acknowledgement of your professional accomplishments is a small token of the appreciation that the entire community has for the work that you have done. Whether professionally or, as Paul pointed out, the amazing music you create with your band, you are constantly giving to the community, and we thank you for all that you give to us.
Well said, gentlemen. Bill, it has been a pleasure and privilege to get to know you and see your passion for service and justice and music. Today, we officially award you superhero status. Thank you for your service.
We are resilient, and as federal employees will continue to strive for the best in all the work that we do.